Well, Channel 9 is banking heavily on the London Olympic Games to boost its ratings next year and save the network from its crippling financial burden. In just 2 weeks, the banks will decide whether or not to grant Channel 9 and its owner CVC Asia Pacific more time to pay off its $3.6 billion debt. The future of Channel 9 is uncertain, and it's unclear who will ultimately own Australia's once dominant TV network. John Stewart reports.
We're ready.
Channel 9's new lineup for 2012 has plenty of hype and sizzle. Reality TV shows like The Block and Celebrity Apprentice are back, but it's the Olympic Games which 9 hopes will win the race for ratings.
Put your hands up, put your hands up.
This year, Channel 9 has finished well behind its key rival, Channel 7, in the ratings war. Media analysts believe the network is suffering from years of budget cuts.
They've asked for round after round after round of cuts, and those have been carried out, but they've got to a point where that cutting has harmed the product.
The time when James Packer was readying the place for sale for the private equity investors, so there was a lot of cost cutting and shrinking then. And then when CVC Asia Pacific came in, there was a stack of cost cutting then. So they've gone through sort of 6 years of pain.
Channel 9's owner, private equity group CVC Asia Pacific, has asked banks for an extra 2.5 years to repay $2.6 billion of debt. 9 also has another $1 billion of second-tier or mezzanine debt due in 2014. Analysts are unsure whether or not the banks will agree to an extension.
And the banks have to decide, do they roll the debt and take a risk, or do they say, you're in breach, you're out, and we're taking control of the assets? So it's a very tight decision.
It's kind of inconceivable that the senior debt holders would withdraw their support totally and not move forward. Their only way out is to improve the profitability and improve the trading conditions and improve the ratings outlook of the assets they hold, with a view that sometime in the future they can sell out.
But if the banks don't give Channel 9 more time to pay off its debt, the network could face more uncertainty and even a new owner.
Look, any business which has got too much debt and is skirting with bankruptcy or going into receivership, it is destabilising. You can't bid for sporting rights, you haven't got enough cash flow, you're cancelling Christmas parties. So yeah, it's quite demoralising for a business. Channel 9 and the magazines are still a great business. They're just not that great that they can support a huge $3.6 billion debt.
Channel 9's problems are not typical of all TV networks. Channel 7 has shown that free-to-air television is still profitable.
You can't turn networks around in a year. It is a really slow build, and 7's done that. I don't think 9 can really wrest control from 7 next year, and possibly not even into 2013. I think 7's just got too many strong established shows for 9 to knock off. But 9 can become a far more profitable venture next year if they get their programming right.
The free-to-air television lobby group says the average daily audience for free TV in Australia has been increasing since 2009. But those figures have been influenced by a flourishing of new digital channels and playback machines, which allow viewers to watch shows when they want and also skip the ads. Channel 9 is hoping those viewers tune in to the London Olympic Games, an event the network has paid $80 million to broadcast in July next year.
Well, it's a huge anchor program, in the same way that the AFL will really anchor the 7 schedule. It's something that will draw eyeballs and from which they can promote shows after the Olympics. But I'm not so sure it's going to be the panacea because, well, one, London is overnight, so a lot of the live viewing is not in the prime time for Australia. So it's going to be interesting to see how they repackage that.
They have said publicly that they're investing over $120 million in programming next year. The kind of codicil to that is, yes, but $80 million of that is to do with the Summer Olympics, so it's not new original programming.
If Channel 9 continues to struggle, other parts of the Nine Media Group may have to be sold off, like ACP magazines, which have been performing badly.
Well, the magazine business has been the biggest problem. They paid far too much for that. They've written off many hundreds of millions. Profits and circulation are plunging. The internet is destroying print journalism and magazines and newspapers.
Nine's chief executive, David Gyngell, declined to be interviewed. Last week he stated, "Despite all the talk about our debt and when we need to refinance it, we are making our largest ever spend on programming." Channel 9's owner, CVC Asia Pacific, declined to comment. Investment firm Oaktree Capital, which holds a large amount of the debt, also declined to comment. John Stewart, Late Line.